Welcome back to Rallyslide, a channel dedicated to the WRC. I'm Gal, a longtime fan of the sport, and today we'll talk about the main points ahead of this year's Croatia Rally. Rally Croatia is the fourth round of the season and is considered by many as the first proper tarmac rally of the season, as Monte Carlo is usually covered with snow along with the tarmac. So what are the main points ahead of the event? 1. The stages. The Croatia Rally is relatively a newcomer to the championship, having joined the calendar in 2021, so there isn't much previous knowledge for anyone ahead of the event. However, in its last two occasions, the rally used most of the stages that will be used this year, so the route is known to everyone who has been in the past 2 years. The roads though can be tricky. The stages are incredibly narrow, there aren't a lot of corners or hairpins, but there are a lot of leaves and gravel on the corners, which can lead to low grip and punctures, something which happened a lot last year, and which means that the grip level can be unpredictable at most, and the stages can be slippery, and if it will be wet, it will be much worse, which leads us to the next point. 2. Weather. Last year, the Croatian Rally had a lot of rain, which made the anyway unpredictable levels of grip even trickier. Some drivers gained and lost minutes thanks to the weather, and when it rained, it wasn't easy to predict how much and where and when will it rain. Last year, even after it stopped raining, some stages were still wet from the nights before, which made the tire choices very tricky. With limits on the amount of tires that can be used throughout the weekend, it's gonna be a big task for the crews to pick up the correct tires, especially in wet weather. 3. Unexpected events. This is something that can be in all rallies, but in Croatia, for some reason, there are more of it. Whether it was Sebastian Ogier's accident on the road section 2 years ago, or the minute of time penalty Neuville received last year for speeding on the road section, there are always some weird things that happen in this rally. It is known that the rally drivers do not always take notice on the rules of the road sections, so considering the past events, it might be wiser for them to obey the local rules if they want to see the finish line without any trouble, and if they won't, you can expect some external things to affect the final results. 4. Tight competition. The rally fight came down to the final stage in the last 2 years, and had a lead change at the end of it. Considering that, you can expect close competition right again. Last year it was because of the weather, but it still was tight, and even if it won't go to the final stage in the most dramatic fashion, there's still a good chance of the competition being tight. 5. The favorites. There are drivers who are better at some events, like Sebastian Ogier, who will compete in Croatia as well, who is better at Mexico for example, and also won in Croatia 2 years ago, and considering his wins in Monte Carlo this year and Spain last year, he might be the favorite to win on tarmac. But even when he won in Croatia, it was a close call, and with Rovanperä showing also an improvement on tarmac, it is anyone's guess who will win, as no one ever had been particularly dominant there in the past. It appears that there aren't any favorites to win this year, which makes the rally even more fascinating. So these are the main points ahead of this year's Rally Croatia. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for more content about rallying, and goodbye.